My family has this belief that human beings are put on the earth to help each other. And so it seems to me that helping students who need to learn self-esteem, who are at a disadvantage in terms of learning how to read, who need to learn the language in order to progress, those are the students that I wanted to help, and that's the reason I wanted to teach in the Ravenswood City School District.
I started substitute teaching, and my first assignment was actually a long-term sub position with first graders, and I was able to teach them how to read, and it pretty much changed my life.
My dad is of Mexican descent. He was born in the United States, but when he went to start at school, he couldn't speak English. And so I wanted to give back, in particular, to the Latino community.
I received my first EPAK grant in 2006 when I was a teacher in East Palo Alto.
During the first or second year that EPAK was around, I applied for grants back in the 94-95 timeframe. And I received several grants that really enriched the education of my students.
Once we made the first set of funding, once we actually passed out the checks at the schools, it was like Christmas. It was just wonderful, and the teachers all wanted to be involved because we all have that common purpose and interest in the children.
One of the things that you need to inspire kids and make them want to read is to have interesting books in the classroom. And so a lot of my grants were particularly devoted to literacy.
Our students come from homes that don't get to travel very often, so they aren't as exposed to other things. So definitely having lower incomes impacts their education.
Students don't have the resources they need. In particular, I remember for one student, I went out and bought shoes because the child didn't have any shoes to wear to school.
Unfortunately, more than half of the students in East Palo Alto right now are reading below grade level. 75% of our students are English learners. Over 90% fall under the line of poverty, so they qualify for free or reduced lunch. And we have about 80% Latino, 10% African American, and 10% Pacific Islander.
I was really excited about receiving grants from the East Palo Alto Kids Foundation and was excited to join the board because I saw the great work that they were doing for teachers and for students in the school district.
I joined the East Palo Alto Kids Foundation board because I was able to see the impact of the grants in the classroom.
Sometimes the school district needs a few extra dollars to have an experience for children that really stands out.
Your teacher applied for a grant of $500, and so I'm going to give her the check right now. And this is, you want to tell us what you're using it for?
We're going to use it to go on another field trip. Hopefully to a science museum where we can see some fossils.
East Palo Alto Kids Foundation is a conduit for funds directly into East Palo Alto classrooms through the teachers' stated needs.
So we know that by supporting teachers and their ideas and their projects, students will be able to learn more, have more experiences, and be more successful long term.
It is all volunteer. It is a way that people can really give together and know that the money goes to the children through the teacher's own strengths.
The idea here in California, schools don't receive enough funding, and there are educational foundations all throughout the state who provide supplementary funding for different programs and to make sure that teachers have the materials they need in their classrooms. Surrounding school districts, Palo Alto and Los Altos education foundations raise millions of dollars, and unfortunately the parents in East Palo Alto aren't able to donate those millions of dollars, so our organization stands in place and raises money to get directly to teachers.
Guys, stop your test for just 1 second. This is very important. I normally would never stop a test, but we got $500 for our classroom again, and we're going on a field trip with this.
The East Palo Alto Kids Foundation literally comes into a staff meeting and tells teachers that there are resources for them, and they're happy to give them those resources. So it definitely perks up a staff meeting, and when teachers are able to think of projects and get those funded and experience them with their students, it's a really exciting time.
To be able to empower these teachers to do things with their class that they love and that they can pass on to their kids is just a marvelous avenue.
Teachers at this site have used their grants for books for in the classroom, for transportation for field trips, for entrance into museums and zoos.
So kids, your teacher applied for $500, and so I'm giving her a check. And do you know what you'll be using it for?
I do. I'm going to be using it for some brand new books for our mentor authors. We get to buy, are you ready? New books.
It's pretty exciting to be able to go into every school and do outreach with every classroom, and we're able to do that with just a small group of people.
It's amazing that 20 years now EPAK has been going, and the wonderful, wonderful people who have kept it alive.